Good morning. This is PJ. It is Monday, July 8th, 2024. We're here for our daily lectionary readings. Our daily lectionary readings, we have 3 readings. And with it being Monday, we are reflecting back at what happened on Sunday. Psalm 21 is our psalm reading. We continue in 2 Samuel chapter 5, verses 1 through 10. And then 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 16 through 33 is our New Testament reading. So let's click open and we are on the Message, Psalm 21. Your strength, God, is the king's strength. Helped, he is a holdering Hosanna. You gave him exactly what he wanted. You didn't hold back. You filled his arms with gifts. You gave him a right royal welcome. He wanted a good life. You gave it to him. And then he made it a long life as a bonus. You lifted him high and bright as a cumulus cloud, then dressed him in the rainbow colors. Your pile blessings on him. You make him glad when you smile. Is it any wonder the king loves God, that he's sticking with the best? With a fistful of enemies in one hand and a fistful of haters in the other. You radiate with such brilliance that they cringe as before a furnace. Now the furnace swallows them whole. The fire eats them alive. You purge the earth of their progeny. You wipe their slate clean. All their evil schemes, the plots they crook up, have fizzled, every one. You sent them packing. They couldn't face you. Show your strength, God. No one can miss it. We are singing out the good news. The Old Testament reading, 2 Samuel chapter 5. Before long, all the tribes of Israel approached David and Hebron and said, "Look at us, your own flesh and blood. In time past, when Saul was our king, you were the ones who really ran the country. Even then, God said to you, you will shepherd my people Israel, and you'll be the prince." All of the leaders of Israel met with King David at Hebron, and the king made a treaty with them in the presence of God. And so they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he became king and ruled for 40 years. In Hebron, he ruled Judah for 7.5 years. In Jerusalem, he ruled all Israel and Judah for 33 years. David and his men immediately set out to Jerusalem to take on the Jebusites who lived in the country. But they said, "You might as well go home. Even the blind and the lame could keep you out. You can't get in here." They had convinced themselves that David couldn't break through. But David went right ahead and captured the fortress of Zion, known ever since as the City of David. That day, David said, "To get the best of these Jebusites, one must target the water system, not to mention this so-called lame and blind bunch that David hates." In fact, he was so sick and tired of it, people coined the expression, "No lame and blind allowed in the palace." David made the fortress city his home and named it the City of David. He developed the city from the outside terraces inward. David proceeded with a longer stride, a larger embrace, since the God of angel armies was with him. Our New Testament reading is 2 Corinthians 11, 16 through 33. Let me come back to where I started, and don't hold it against me if I continued to sound a little foolish. Or if you'd rather, just accept that I am a fool and let me rant on a little. I didn't learn this kind of talk from Christ. Oh no, it's a bad habit I picked up from the 3-ring preachers that are so popular these days. Since you sit there in a judgment seat, observing all the shenanigans, you can afford to humor an occasional fool who happens along. You have such admirable tolerance for the impostors who rob your freedom, rip you off, steal your blind, put you down, even slap your face. I shouldn't admit it to you, but our stomachs aren't strong enough to tolerate that kind of stuff. Since you admire the egomaniacs of the pulpit so much, remember that this is your old friend, the fool talking. Let me try my hand at it. Do they brag about Hebrews, Israelites, the pure race of Abraham? I'm their match. Are they servants of Christ? I can go get them one better. I can't believe I'm saying these things. It's crazy to talk this way, but I started and I'm going to finish. I've worked much harder, been jailed more often, beaten up more times than I can account, and at death's door, time after time. I've been flogged 5 times with the Jews' 39 lashes, beaten by the Roman rods 3 times, pummeled with rocks once. I've been shipwrecked 3 times and immersed in the open sea for a night and a day, and hand traveling year in, year out. I've had to ford rivers, fend off robbers, struggle with friends, struggle with foes. I've been at risk in the city, at risk in the country, endangered by the desert sun and sea storm, and betrayed by those I thought were my brothers. I've known drudgery and hard labor, many a long and lonely nights without sleep, many a missed meal, blasted by the cold, naked to the weather. And that's not half of it. When you throw in the daily pressures and anxieties of all the churches, when someone gets to the end of its rope, I feel the desperation in my bones. When someone is duped into sin, an angry fire burns in my gut. If I have to brag about myself, I'll brag about the humiliation that made me like Jesus. The eternal and blessed God and Father of our Master, Jesus, knows I'm not lying. Remember the time I was in Damascus and the governor of the king Artaxerxes posted guards at the city gate to arrest me? I crawled through a window in the wall and was let down in a basket and had to run for my life. Here ends our readings for the day.